Good afternoon, students. We will start from the first chapter, chemistry. Our last topic was displacement reaction. So now we are going to do double displacement reaction. What happens in double displacement reaction? One group of atom or ion replaces another group of atom or ion. Maybe a single atom or a group of atoms or ions replaces another group of atom or ion. For example, in this reaction, barium chloride plus sodium sulfate. Barium will replace sodium and sulfate will combine with barium, and barium will displace sodium from its salt. So it results in the formation of barium sulfate plus chlorine and sodium. It will become sodium chloride. So here barium is replacing sodium, sulfate ion is replacing chloride ions, right? So it results in the formation of barium sulfate and sodium chloride. So precipitates of barium sulfate will be formed. So this type of reaction in which one group of atom or ion replaces another group of atom or ion, then it is called double displacement reaction. For example, when you react Ca slaked lime, this is calcium hydroxide, slaked lime. When carbon dioxide gases pass through it, it results in the formation of calcium carbonate plus water. So lime water turns milky, curdy white precipitate of limestone is formed. So this type of reaction in which one group of atom or ion replaces another group of atom or ion, or any gases pass through any salt, it results in the formation of precipitates of calcium carbonate and water. Such type of double displacement reaction are also called precipitation reaction because it results in the formation of precipitates. So this type of reaction is known as double displacement reaction, where one group of atom or ion replaces another group of atom or ion from its salt. Then we will come to redox reaction. Redox reaction. Last type of reaction is redox reaction. Before understanding redox reaction, you should understand what is oxidation and what is reduction. Oxidation means when oxygen is added to any element or compound. Okay? So addition of oxygen to any element. So this is removal of oxygen. So reduction is removal of oxygen. This is loss of oxidation is always loss of electron or loss of proton, and reduction is gain of electron or gain of proton. When oxidation and reduction reaction take place simultaneously, then it is called redox reaction. Very simple example, if I react copper oxide with hydrogen, then it results in the formation of copper plus water. Here copper loses oxygen to the hydrogen. When copper oxide loses oxygen to the hydrogen, you know that loss of removal of oxygen is known as reduction. Hydrogen gains oxygen. Hydrogen gains oxygen, so it changes to water. So hydrogen is said to be oxidized. Oxidation takes place. So when any substance loses oxygen, then it is called reduction. Any substance which gains oxygen, that is called its oxidation take place. It means here hydrogen is reduced to water and hydrogen is oxidized to water and copper oxide is reduced to copper, because here loss of hydrogen take place. So reduction of copper oxide to copper is oxidation, and gaining of oxygen by hydrogen is known as oxidation. Another thing, if you see, we can write copper like this: copper ions and oxide ions, and here it is neutral atom. It means copper is gaining electrons. Gain of electron is nothing but reduction. Gaining of electron is called reduction. Now see hydrogen. Hydrogen is neutral hydrogen, but it is converted into water. Water has this is the oxidation state of hydrogen. Here 1 and oxygen is 2. Though they don't form ionic compound, they form covalent compounds. But here hydrogen is losing electron, and losing of electron is known as oxidation. So gaining of oxygen by hydrogen to water, yeah, gaining of oxygen is known as oxidation, and loss of electron, because electron are losing. Hydrogen is neutral, but now it is converted to H positive ion, so it is forming protons. It is losing electrons, so loss of electron or gaining of oxygen, that is known as oxidation. Similarly, reduction, removal of oxygen. Here copper oxide is losing electron, losing oxygen, as well as copper oxide is gaining electron, so this is called reduction. And the substance whose oxidation take place, is called reducing agent. And the substance whose reduction takes place is called oxidation, is called oxidizing agent. So it is just the reverse. The substance whose oxidation takes place, here the oxidation of hydrogen takes place. So hydrogen is reducing agent. Here reduction of copper oxide takes place. So copper oxide is oxidizing agent. Just the reverse. जिसकी ऑक्सीडेशन होगी वो रिड्यूसिंग एजेंट है, जिसकी रिडक्शन होगी that will be oxidizing agent. And when oxidation and reduction take place simultaneously, then it is known as redox reaction. Similarly, loss of proton or gain of proton, that is also known as a redox reaction. Yeah, when oxidation and reduction take place simultaneously, then it is called oxidation reaction. For example, I take another example: hydrogen and chlorine. It results in the formation of 2HCl. Here H2 is losing hydrogen. Okay, H2 is losing hydrogen. If H2 is losing hydrogen, then it is said to be oxidized, or its oxidation take place. Chlorine is gaining proton. Gain of proton is reduction. So with the help of these examples, we come to know that, for example, in this, oxygen is lost. Yeah, when oxygen is lost, yeah, gain of electron take place. Or in this example, hydrogen is loss of hydrogen take place. Here gain of hydrogen take place by chlorine. So that reaction is known as, that is called reduction. And oxidation is addition of oxygen. For example, oxygen get added to hydrogen, so it gets oxidized to water. Similarly, hydrogen get changed into, here it was neutral, now here it lost electrons. So loss of electron is known as oxidation. Here hydrogen H2 is getting reduced to H, so it is losing one proton. So loss of proton is known as oxidation. So oxidation and reduction reaction always take simultaneously. I am sending you one assignment based on this, so please do solve it. Again, I am just recalling what we have done just now. Redox reaction is divided into two parts: oxidation and reduction. Oxidation is addition of oxygen, loss of electron, loss of proton. Reduction is removal of oxygen, gain of electron, gain of proton. When oxidation and reduction take place simultaneously, it is known as redox reaction. The substance with whose oxidation take place, that is called reducing agent, and the substance whose reduction take place, that is called oxidizing agent. Just the reverse. In this particular reaction, first copper oxide get reduced to copper. It means it is losing oxygen, but hydrogen on the other hand is gaining oxygen. So hydrogen is oxidized and copper oxide is reduced. So copper oxide is reduced, it means copper oxide is reducing agent. Hydrogen is oxidized, it means hydrogen is reducing agent, right? And here in this reaction, hydrogen getting reduced to proton, it is losing proton. When it is losing proton, loss of proton is nothing but oxidation. And here chlorine is addition, it is gaining proton. So whenever it is gaining proton, gain of proton is known as reduction. And this reaction as a whole is known as redox reaction. That's all. Thank you.